Okay, looking at FILECOIN here. Wow, this thing did exactly what I marked out as well. It just did it a lot quicker than I thought. Feel free to look back at my previous videos if you don't believe that this is what I drew out before. But yeah, so I was waiting for price to, like, obviously this was a perfect entry, which I never got in on, and it's tough to tell at the time because based on this candle here, I wouldn't have entered, even though that would have been the perfect entry. But the break of this area, this 407 area, this break here, and then retest with this little candle here, I would have entered. And then that would have been a massively profitable trade, but I would never have, and like I had this based on a monthly move. So the thing is with this this trade setup here is like, this is what I expected, this entire move here, but I didn't expect it to be in 3 days. So this is pretty crazy to see just happen, and it's happened with a bunch of the cryptocurrencies that I've looked at already. So pretty amazing that and like this was already bearish, but Bitcoin and Ethereum weren't, and so this is really, it makes sense that this came down this much. But Bitcoin and Ethereum I looked at earlier, and they also came down this much, and so now they are bearish, which before they were bullish. So pretty wild to see. But anyways, I couldn't have called this 3-day move. Like I thought this would take a month, and there was really like there hasn't really been liquidity in this market for a while, so I didn't expect this to move like this, but it did. And so I mean, this is the bottom of this zone that I marked out, and you can see it completely took it out and then pulled back. So I think it is finding a bit of resistance here in this area, so most likely we'll pull back up, and then I'd be looking for some sort of retracement trade. So I think as far as this says it does about $7 per month, and it's only done one this month, but considering price is already at $3, I don't think it's going to move 7 this month. But so those averages are a little bit out, but my first possibility for a trade setup would be something like this, because it hasn't retraced yet. So might be very a very good idea that this will retrace. So might take the rest of the month, and then some. Might go into next month because this is massive, but we'll delete this. It does have this zone here, but I think this zone will get broken. I just have a feeling. I think it'll come up higher. So I do think this is still bearish, and I do think it is going to continue to sell off, but I think for the rest of this month, I mean, could be totally wrong, but just based on yesterday's close and this huge candle through this zone pretty much all the way to $3, and then completely rejected, I think it might push back into this zone a little bit and then start pulling back up. It'll find its kind of area maybe at like 330 or 340 on the dot kind of thing, and then start pulling back up to kind of this 410 area again, right? You got this 618 level between the 50% and the 618 retracement level, which is massive. And a couple things with this is I like that with this zone here, which was heavily respected before, this was your upper liquidity area here. We can actually move this over. You can see this was your upper liquidity area before, price hitting it, finally broke, would not go higher. Somewhere in this area will most likely create a new upper liquidity area just like this one, but it'll be a little bit below. So it'll probably be something like, just looking at this, it'll be something like this. So could see that happening right around $4 here, so that's kind of my target. We'll see how this plays out. This can take a little bit. I mean, I said that about the last trade, and it did in 3 days instead of 12 days, 15 days, but this is kind of what I'm looking at for right now. This $4 mark, looking for price to come back up to here. Again, might take all month, but then we'll look to short it again at that area back down to at least this 340 level. So that is what I'm looking at for FILECOIN here. Something like this, maybe the bottom of this zone again. That's what I'm looking for, but it's got to come back up to about $4 and start resisting it. I'm not interested in selling this right now just because there's this huge area here. It does seem to be pretty extended. It is rejecting a little bit, but who knows? I mean, this week is closing. There's still 2 days left. These crypto coins go all the way till Sunday, but so it could break this zone and then be heading down lower to this area here. But I think I'm going to, as of right now, be more positioned for taking this retracement trade. You know, even like, I don't really like this idea, but you could buy it up to $4. So I mean, that is a consideration as well, and for me to consider that, what I would need is price to catch up to this moving average, and which would be way down here at the time. It'll be quite some time, and then look for higher highs, higher low structure that really shows that this is bullish, or you know, like temporary bullish, and wants to push back up. I need to see all those signs first, and then would possibly consider a buy position up to $4, and then eventually shorting it from $4 back down to, you know, $3.35, $3.40 kind of thing. So this literally is my like exact trade setup that I have in mind. If price plays out properly, it'll be something like this. Can even extend this a little bit, but basically you get a 5R on each side. You get a 5 risk to reward on the way up, and then you get the same down, if not more. So this is looking at like 7 to 8, so that's amazing. So I think that is what FILECOIN could do, and I think there's a handful of cryptocurrencies that are very similar, so we'll go through those as well right after this. But yeah, that's kind of what FILECOIN's looking like for me. I think after this massive move, it's been nothing retracing this month. I do think a lot of this has to do with the dollar index pushing up, right? As the dollar index pushes up, it pushes down all these cryptocurrencies. So if the dollar index starts selling off, that'll really help this come back up. So I could definitely see that happening soon, and especially after this major move down. So I think it's on sale now, and I think I'm gonna wait until this momentum comes in. You know, higher highs, higher lows on the 1 hour time frame. Let this 1 hour moving average catch up. You know, it'll probably take all weekend for sure. So especially because the weekends are usually pretty slow. So that is what I'm waiting for FILECOIN, and then yeah, potentially taking a long position here all the way up to $4, then taking a short position from $4 back down to $3.30, and that is my take on FILECOIN.